This training will discuss the notes used in finding aids. There are a number of notes that are mandatory when applicable in the descriptive outputs created in the Perry Special Collections. These notes fall into the following categories: access and use notes, appraisal and acquisition notes, and related materials notes. The first category is the access and use notes. There are two required access and use notes. Physical access note, which provides information about access restrictions due to any physical characteristics or storage locations that limit, restrict, or delay access to the materials. If necessary, you will create a note with the following elements: physical characteristics or conditions that limit or restrict access to the materials. Storage location of materials if that affects access. Preservation issues that affect access to all or parts of the material being described. Technical access note, which provides information about access restrictions that are due to technical requirements for using the material. This note has two components: special equipment required to view or access materials such as project or playback equipment, computer equipment. Technical information about access to records in electronic form including memory requirements, operating system requirements, software dependencies, required or recommended peripherals. The finding aids note, which identifies other finding aids to the materials that you are describing with an emphasis on those finding aids that are available to the researcher. The second category of mandatory when applicable note is appraisal and acquisition notes. There is one mandatory when applicable appraisal and acquisition note: accruals note, which provides researchers with information about anticipated additions to the materials being described. The third category of mandatory when applicable is related materials notes. There are 4 mandatory when applicable notes in the related materials category. Existence and location of originals note, which describes the existence, location, and availability of originals when the materials being described consist of copies and the originals are not held by the repository. Include the following information in these notes: name of the institution or individual holding the originals, contact information for that institution or individual, existence and location of copies note, which indicates the existence, location, and availability of copies or other reproductions of the materials being described when they are available for use in another institution or available electronically. This note may include copies available in addition to the original, medium of copies and identification number if appropriate, for what portion of the original materials are available. Copies, for example, digital surrogates, that are available via remote access. Copies available at another institution with contact information. Related archival materials note, which provides information about archival materials that are related to those being described through provenance, subject, or sphere of activity. Publication note, which identifies any publications that are about or are based on the use, study, or analysis of the materials being described. Do not spend a lot of time hunting for information to place in these notes. If you know the information or it is readily available, then record it. Otherwise, do not use these notes. Describing archives, a content standard, does give you some latitude if none of the previously discussed notes are applicable. There is a general note category that you can use sparingly. It is meant to provide information that cannot be accommodated in any of the previously discussed notes. If you have any questions, please consult your curator.